Morning guys, so it's 7 AM on the 26th of July 2020 and I want to do a highly requested video, and it's a day in the life but more focused around mold and detoxification because that's what I'm currently going through. I actually moved into my new place mid-June, so just over 6 weeks here now, and I'm already noticing a difference, and my days have been pretty much centered around detoxification and supporting that through my diet obviously, but things like Epsom salt baths and also coffee enemas, dry body brushing. So those are some of the things that I'm going to be showing you today, so let's get started. As a naturopathic nutritional therapist, I'm always talking about the importance of nutrition and diet, particularly breakfast. I'm a big breakfast person. I know there's a lot of hype these days on intermittent fasting. I think there are tons of benefits there, but mainly for men. These things haven't really been studied on women, and I tend to find that a lot of women, especially if they have thyroid, adrenal, hormone type issues, they don't do well with fasting because it is another type of stress. So I'm going to show you what I'm having in my breakfast smoothie. I have this pretty much every day, and there is a recipe PDF on my website, so vivanaturalhealth.co.uk. I'll link it in the comment section below. And this is just how I start my day. Tons of nutrients in an easy to digest way. I usually put acai powder in there, which are little frozen packets, but they don't have any in stock at the moment on Ocado, which is where I get them. So that makes it so much nicer and creamier. But for now, I'm just gonna skip that and just use my usual ingredients. So let's have a see. I'm also gonna do some oil pulling. So let's have a look. So this is coconut oil. I just get this huge thing on Amazon, and I'm just gonna, while I'm making my smoothie, put a tablespoon of that in my mouth, swish it around, drag it through my teeth, and that really helps to kind of pull any impurities, bacteria, toxins from the system that have accumulated overnight. I'll then spit that in the bin and then brush my teeth afterwards. So that's kind of my routine. Just going to show you some of the ingredients first. So this is a protein powder that I use. It's kind of like a multivitamin as well. You can see all of those nutrients. It's like both sides of the tub. Really love that one. The taste is pretty good as well. This is another, so I put 1 scoop of each. This New Zest Clean Lean Protein, I think that's readily available, whereas this other one may be a practitioner brand. Some hemp seeds. I put in some cacao butter, so I can't do chocolate at the moment or cacao powder because of the histamine, so I choose to use this instead. Some organic Ceylon cinnamon. Ceylon over cassia cinnamon has actually the most health benefits. I do a scoop of green powder. So this has got some spirulina, chlorella in there. I might not do the flax seeds because I choose between seeds, so I'm not having too many. And then I love tiger nuts, so I'm also going to be exercising this morning. So I need a little bit more starch and carbohydrates. So I'm having a handful of tiger nuts, which blend really nicely into the smoothie. Macadamia nuts and some organic blueberries. So let me mix all of this up and then I'll come back to you later. Smoothie is all done. I'm just getting ready to sit down and drink it and enjoy it. I like to eat mindfully, so slowing down, chewing my food, because particularly with mold, digestion can be compromised, so we really want to make sure that we're paying attention. Some people, and I did for a short time, took digestive enzymes just to help give your body that little extra helping hand. So obviously I've spit the coconut oil away, rinsed my mouth with water, and I'm going to eat or drink and do a little bit of work. I don't tend to on a Sunday, but I just have a few emails that I need to answer, so I'm going to be doing that on my phone. And then in the meantime, I'm also brewing my coffee enema solution. So when I finished, I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Thought I'd show you this cupboard because it's my favorite cupboard. This is all the stuff that you saw earlier with my smoothies. For herbal teas, I have a range, but particularly for my mold detox, I've been focusing on tulsi or holy basil, powder arco, which is very antifungal, and it's an Amazonian, a herb from the Amazonian rainforest. Dandelion coffee that I brew and make like regular coffee, but it's caffeine free. Tulsi combined with some herbs for sleep for at night, and then nettle. It's very antihistamine because I struggled with histamine and mast cell activation syndrome as a result of the mold. And then onto my supplements, looking pretty bare at the moment for me. I know this is probably a lot. Some of the ones at the back I don't use are the spurs, but I've got them into sections. So there's like nutrient support, digestive enzymes, binders, adrenal support, and my magnesiums. I need different types of magnesiums. I'm not going to share the brands or the doses that I use for my products because they're all very individual to me, and you need to work with a practitioner who can help you navigate that. And then these are my mold specific ones up here, and I will be taking some of those prior to the coffee enema because that way I can support detox and then bind afterwards, and that is a concept from Chris at Quicksilver. It's called the Push Catch Detox, which you can search on YouTube. So it's now 8:30 AM and it's time to do my coffee enema now that my breakfast has digested and I've eliminated this morning, if you know what I mean. So coffee enemas are so amazing for detoxification, particularly of mold. So they upregulate glutathione, they get the bile flowing, both of which mold and mycotoxins can interfere with. So this really allows the toxins to be packaged up in the bile and then you release them into the toilet. I recommend taking binders afterwards, so whether that's charcoal or zeolite, something like that, just to bind to any toxins that have been released. Otherwise you do kind of recirculate a lot of them. So I'm just going to show you my get up here. So this is the enema bag. I'll link to all my favourite things in the comment section below. So this is the kit. I've got my extra bit of coffee because what I've been doing recently is doing half the amount first, letting my body kind of process that and clear everything out, and then going again with the other half of coffee enema. So all the instructions and doses that I use, this is all my personal experience, so it's not for medical advice, but you could follow along if that's something that you and your health practitioner think would be a good idea. So I'm gonna not show you the intimate details. This is where I kind of lie down on the floor. Let's move my little blanket back. I've got my little bath pillow. I lie on my right hand side here on the floor, and yeah, the whole thing should take maybe 30-45 minutes in total, so I'll report back afterwards. Enema is now done. I always feel so much better, and they were literally a lifesaver during my last 2 months in my previous home. Being exposed to the mold, I just felt so much clearer in the head afterwards and less inflamed. And if I ever had a histamine or mast cell reaction, my go-to would be a coffee enema and binders. Always make sure that you replenish with hydration and also additional salt in your foods on those days, because you do kind of get a little bit depleted from that process. But I'm now gonna go for a walk. So me and my mum would like to go for a nice walk on Sunday mornings. So she's gonna come here, I'm gonna have a catch up with her. I'm not gonna take my camera, I'll try and film a little bit on my phone and show you the view. It's down the canal by the side of my house, a lovely view. That'll probably take an hour and a half also. I was gonna go to the gym. The gym's reopened here in the UK after COVID yesterday, so I went yesterday. My legs are so sore, so I've not been working out just because of energy wise, and I prefer to work out at the gym. So that whole workout from home situation, it's just not my thing, and I'm just not motivated at all. So my whole exercise these past few months, my entire exercise has just been walking, try to do at least an hour a day. But now that the gym's reopening, I'm gonna get back into fitness, because that whole sweating and getting your body moving is so good for just general health, but particularly detoxification of mold. A lot of things can come through the skin. I want to get that lymphatic system moving to clear out any toxins from the cellular level, and stagnation does breed dis-ease. So I want to keep my body moving, stay active, build some more muscle, which reduces inflammation, bone health in the long run. So I was going to go to the gym again, but I'm really sore because I've not been working out, and I think my body's been detoxing. And when I was talking to the people about my sauna, which I'll show you later, they were saying that the infrared saunas is kind of similar to exercise, so you have to kind of balance them out. If you're doing a lot of work, a lot of exercise that day, maybe don't do as much sauna, and vice versa. So I will show you that later, along with the rest of my routine. I'm going to go for my walk, and then I'm going to come back, do a little bit of work on my laptop, and then I'll show you what I'm having for lunch. Back from my walk now. It started to rain, so we kind of power walked home. I did a little bit of work on my laptop, so preparing and scheduling a podcast to be released tomorrow, and now I'm just going to sit down and eat my lunch. This is kind of a random lunch. My meals are pretty random. I just like things pretty basic, and I'm using up what's in the fridge. So I've got a pea and coconut soup from Tideford Organic. I added some frozen prawns into it just for a little bit more protein, and there's some cooked cabbage from last night at the bottom there, just warming. After, I'm just going to use the rest of my coconut yogurt, and I've added some raspberries in there that's made it that pinky colour. And I don't usually have these, but I was sent some of these juices and kind of smoothies from a company in London, and it's got like coconut water, some nuts, some honey, some sweetener in there, so I'm going to have that alongside as well. So this is lunch. I'm going to enjoy this, be mindful, again, whilst chewing and eating. I like to eat the bulk of my calories in the daytime, so breakfast and lunch are pretty big meals for me, and then as the day goes on, I like to reduce that a little bit more. But I'll show you what I'm having for dinner. I'm going to spend the afternoon relaxing, cleaning the apartment, so I'll catch up with you later. So I'm all done with my work for the day, which is absolutely great. I only had a few bits to do, but now I'm in the process of heating up my infrared sauna mat, which will take 15 to 20 minutes. I've also put my Instant Pot on. I'll show you my dinner later. I'm having duck, and it makes it really nice and easy to digest and slow cooked in the pressure cooker. And yeah, once I'm on the sauna, that's going to penetrate deep into my cells and tissues to detoxify the mycotoxins and any other pollutants or heavy metals that I'm potentially exposed to. The difference between the mat, infrared sauna, and like the tents or the cabins that you can get, I was considering one of those. For one, the cabin wouldn't fit in my apartment. Eventually I am going to invest and get something like that in a home in the future. But for now, this works really well. You can fold it up, put it in the cupboard once you've done. And this works better for people like me who are sensitive and can't tolerate heat, because the tents, or when your head gets hot, then that can cause some dizziness, especially if you have POTS or mast cell activation syndrome. So I chose the matte, and it's a far infrared. The near infrared kind of just penetrates the outer layer or just like a few centimeters into the skin, whereas the far infrared, it goes I think 3 to 4 centimeters deep. So let's have a quick look at my setup here. So here is the matte. There are kind of little travel size targeted area ones, but I chose this one. It's upside down actually. So it's from a company called Fitt. They offer a range of different products. This isn't sponsored or gifted in any way. I purchased this with my own money. I've got my little workstation set up there and a towel because it's important to wipe the sweat away when you're detoxifying and you're exercising or on the sauna, because you can actually recirculate some of the toxins if it's allowed to dry in the skin. So this will take 15 minutes or so to heat up. It's getting a little bit warm now, and I've had to build up my tolerance quite slowly because, again, I am sensitive and these things can be really powerful. So you need to be careful, and when I purchased, I got a free kind of consulting call with them just for them to talk me through it. And at first I didn't really notice any difference, so I would do a little bit longer. Started with like 10 minutes on a medium temperature, and then over the weeks I've graduated and kind of built up to half an hour on like a medium hot setting, and that really gets a nice sweat on. And afterwards I'm going to follow that up with an Epsom salt bath. So I'm going to get undressed now. You can do this in clothes, but I prefer to do it in my underwear. And then I'm going to have a shower, bath actually. I'm going to have an Epsom salt bath because that is really great for the liver and relaxation, and my muscles are really sore. So that is going to be the second part of this, and then I'm going to eat and then chill out for the evening. So I'll tune back in when it's bath time, and then again when it's my dinner. It's now time for bath time, so I'm going to run a bath. I've just been on my sauna. So here is my bucket of Epsom salt. I think it's 5 kilograms, but I got this on Amazon. Saves a ton of money. I'm going to put 2 to 3 little cups or jugs. So this is what I use to measure it. I don't actually know what it's off, but I'm going to have a nice bath with some non-toxic bubble bath. I used Avalon Organics. Going to really help with my muscles, and I get the best night's sleep afterwards. So I will tune back in once I've finished and it's ready for my dinner time. But yeah, it's coming to the end of the day now, so I love Sundays, I love weekends, but I'm excited to get back to work. Just sitting down to the last meal of the day now. Again, not very kind of appetizing to look at, but tastes good. It's hitting all of the nutrient boxes that I'm after right now, and I kind of just throw things together. So this is what you get when you come to my page. I don't like to curate and have all of these boring meals. I want things to taste good, but also support my dietary needs. So this is my evening meal. I've got a gluten-free sweet potato wrap here. It's a UK brand, I think it's called Be Free. It should be available in most supermarkets. And in the Instant Pot, which is a multi-system cooker, if you haven't checked it out, oh my god, they're the best. So I've got some cauliflower, red onion and garlic that's being kind of cooked in the juices of a duck thigh. There's some turmeric on there as well, some sea salt. So I'm so excited to tuck in. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already checked out episode number 79-80 of the Hormones in Harmony podcast, I do cover more about my mold journey. So if it's something that you want to learn more about, that you suspect that you might be dealing with, or you want to know the kind of tools that I used, including the types of supplements, again, not the brands or the doses or anything like that, but they will definitely provide more information. And episode number 72 of the podcast, I interviewed Dr. Jill Crista, who is a naturopathic doctor and expert in this area. So I'll link to a few more things down below for your reference. But thank you so much for watching, and I'm sure I'll probably do another day in the life video soon.